Sunday, the Pope made an urgent plea to stop the conflict, saying, I pray to you to stop in the name of God, cease the fire. So with so much bloodshed, is it time for a ceasefire? Joining me now to discuss this, America's rabbi and best-selling author, Rabbi Shmuley Cenk, and welcome back to Young Turks creator and Democratic presidential challenger, Cenk Uygur. Well, welcome to both of you. Cenk, let me start with you. Many people are calling for a ceasefire. Queen Rania of Jordan, Angelina Jolie, Arab leaders, and so on. I presume you would agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they've murdered enough Palestinian civilians. And even Netanyahu, in an interview with ABC News, said, now that we're on the ground, we're finally pressuring Hamas on hostages. Oh, so the 7,000 bombs you dropped were totally useless and collective punishment, and your attempt to murder civilians on purpose as some sort of sick vengeance. So please stop the murders, ceasefire right now.
Rabbi Shmuley, your response?
Cenk is polling in the Democratic presidential primaries at 0%, nothing. He has a greater likelihood of being elected the new king of France. And don't interrupt me, please. And the reason is that the American people are decent. They understand that Cenk's anti-Semitism, which he has voiced on your show repeatedly, calling Jews genocidaires, and this is the eve of Kristallnacht, the 85th anniversary of the start of the Holocaust. He would deny the Jewish people the only dignity left to us, that we were victims of genocide, and he would say that we are the Nazis, we are the Gestapo, for simply wanting to defend ourselves against the brutality and the savagery of Hamas. Cenk, you'll have your turn. Just show some decency. If you're not going to show it to my people, show it to me and show it to the viewers of the show.
Stop.
But who is
lying.
surprised
Everything
that a man? Who is surprised that a man the name of whose podcast is Young Turks, who perpetrated the Armenian genocide? The Young Turks is like calling your podcast the Young Nazis, the Young Gestapo. They killed 1.5 to 2 million Armenians between 1915 and 1918. The Armenian community has begged Cenk to change the name of his show. For the first half of his life, he was a complete Armenian genocide denier. Then he changed. Now he is a Holocaust denier because he is saying.
Wow. Fire and brimstone right from the beginning, folks. It's like a boxing match. Cenk the Cenk from the Young Turks, the Young Turks. He comes out, right? Couple of rights, couple of lefts, uppercuts, blows to the body. Okay, Rabbi Shmuley takes them all and then comes out with his own, bang to the body, another uppercut, right, left, cross, left, right, jab. Comes out. Oh my God. None of these guys, I don't think these guys like each other at all. One's calling the other one something, the other one's calling the other one something, and then Rabbi Shmuley, he decides to go after, which is just a trigger point for Cenk the Cenk instead of the Young Turks, and talks about the Armenian genocide. Cenk doesn't want anything to do with it, and he just keeps saying, lies. Anyways, folks, we're going to get to all that. But we welcome all of you back. So welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, one and all. I'm Dr. Nasser, host of the Dr. Nasser Shake Show, where I give you my political prescription for my political perspective on what's going on. Let's get back to this fiery, explosive debate between Cenk the Cenk and Rabbi Shmuley right now.
Side of the Palestinians. Now,
this liar?
Which nation? How can there be 1.8 million Muslim Arab?
Rabbi Shmuley, okay. I'm going to go to Cenk. You said some very strong things about Cenk. You can now respond, Cenk.
Yeah, you should never have this guy on air. Everything he said is a lie. I don't deny the Holocaust. That's insanity. And in terms of the Armenian genocide, there is a powerful analogy there. Why was it a genocide? And yes, it was a genocide. Why? Because they moved and displaced so many people and killed civilians on the way. What is Israel doing? Moving and displacing millions of people and killing innocent civilians. It is the exact definition of a genocide. So
I got to stop it right here. The analogy Cenk is saying is that moving people, yes, okay, but the genocidal part about it, what the Armenians, what the Turks did to the Armenians is not even close to what Cenk is alleging that Israel has been doing to the Palestinians. Now, has there been, look, in a war, where there's two factions that are fighting each other and continually will fight each other, and somebody starts something and then somebody retaliates, and then the person who retaliates gets retaliated upon, and it goes back and forth, back and forth. Obviously, Israel has got the armed might of a huge state behind them, but they're not the ones that started this in the 7th here when this thing happened. On the 7th of August. That's not who started it. It wasn't Israel who started it. And we can go back and forth and fight over, okay, what happened in 1947? What happened preceding that? What came first, the chicken or the egg? We can go through all that. But instead of going to the past, let's talk about what happened in the present. And if Cenk is saying there's going to be, look, collateral damage is there. Unfortunately, that's a part of war. But when Hamas is using the Palestinian people, hospitals, school children, schools, whatever buildings that they have, and then housing bombs, housing artillery, housing, terrorist fighters, and then all the paraphernalia that they need to fight a war. And they're utilizing civilian places to do so. I don't know what else Israel has except to say, leave those houses, leave those hospitals, leave those places. We're giving you enough time to leave. And then they've got to go ahead and do what they need to do. Anyways, let's continue.
I think the Jewish people are an amazing people, and their culture is beautiful, and I don't tolerate any anti-Semitism. But I think that the occupation is decaying the moral core of Israel. How long are you going to oppress these people?
But Cenk,
and I know this guy, all he wants to do is an ad hominem attack. He's a liar. And you could tell exactly what kind of indecent human being he is. But the main reason he's doing it is to avoid the topic. When are you going to stop murdering Palestinians and cheerleading it?
Okay.
If you're talking about genocide, you're the one right now doing the genocide.
May I respond?
Yes.
Go ahead, more lies. Go ahead.
I've spent my life debating people. Whenever someone starts using personal names and screaming like a lunatic, they're losing the debate. Let me remain factual.
You're the one who made up things.
The Palestinians were offered a state in 1936 in the Peel Commission. They rejected it. They were offered a state in 1947, the UN Partition Plan. They rejected it. They were offered a state in 1967 after Israel conquered Judea and Samaria and the West Bank. They rejected it. They were offered a state in 2000, Yasser Arafat, Ehud Barak. They rejected it. They were offered a state with Ehud Olmert, 2008. They rejected it. Israel unilaterally withdrew from Gaza in 2005, and they did not create a state. In fact, where were you, Cenk, when you say that you care about Palestinian children, when Hamas stole the highest rate of per capita international foreign aid, larger than the Marshall Plan, from Palestinian children, did not build schools for them, did not build hospitals, took all the money to buy bombs and to build a network of tunnels, which is larger than the New York subway system? Where were you then? Did you only come up now? In fact, when Bashar al-Assad killed 600,000 children, Arab children, when he gassed them with mustard gas, my organization took out full-page New York Times ads to protect them from sarin gas. Where were you then? You don't care about Arab children. You are a Jew hater, defined as someone who only wants to lie and say that the Jews are genocidaires. And don't try to cancel me and say that I shouldn't be on. You're not a producer of this show. Because you are ignorant of the facts and ignorant of the history does not mean that you can cancel my voice.
Cenk, your response.
Okay, so first of all, this guy is a full-blown bigot. He's one of the most racist people I have ever seen, does not value Palestinian lives at all. And everything he said about me is 100% untrue. I was vicious in my criticism of Bashar al-Assad. I have criticized Hamas over and over again, and I think what they did in the attack against Israel was reprehensible. But for God's sake, how long are you going to occupy these people? For me, The idea of Israelis and Palestinians or Muslims or Jews being different is absurd. Those are just stupid labels that we put on people. They're all human beings. I value the Israeli life just as much as I value the Palestinian life. We're all human. Stop using these nonsense labels
Cenk, let me ask you a
kill
question.
each other.
Cenk,
all this guy wants to do is more murder of Palestinians.
Cenk, let me ask
when are you going to let them go?
Cenk, let me ask you a
Wow, 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 wow. I mean, passionate on both sides, ad hominem attacks coming from both. They're each one of them, calling each other names. But then Rabbi Shmuley talking about that the Palestinians from 1936, even previously, given multiple chances at statehood, at forming their own country, at doing it, but every single time rejecting it out of hand, saying absolutely not. No compromise whatsoever. It's not a perfect analogy, but it's the same thing that happens when we're talking about the racist situation that these race baiters do in the United States of America, where they're always trying to divide Black America from white America. And you have people like Rebden, Al Sharpton, Al Not So Sharpton, and then, Jesse, the idiot Jackson. And they continually foment and continue to try to ignite tensions and flames among Black and white and other minority groups, and saying it's part of being the oppressed nature of the individual, and the oppressors are the white man and the white woman. And that's what they're doing. And that's exactly what's happening over here. That I believe with the PLO and Hamas and whatever, it is so much in their favor for Hamas and the PLO to basically continue to foment all of this violence and terrorist attacks, and continually to do whatever they can to absolutely blow up any chance of any peace between Israel and Palestine, because it just allows them more power, more money. If there's peace, what does Hamas do? What does the PLO do if there's peace? Well, they just go back to what? What were they doing before? What were these terrorists doing before they became terrorists? I have no idea. But anyways, we appreciate you taking the time to watch. You've been watching the Dr. Nasser Sheikh Show. I've been your host, Dr. Nasser. If you haven't done so already, check us out. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that like, share, and button. Check out our links above and below. My final thought is always, when you're right, you're right. And when you're left, you're wrong. Until next time, folks, take care and stay safe.